Welcome back to another Bali COVID-19 update. This is October 5th, 2021, and this is a special video. It's not Wednesday. I'm not going to do Wednesday this week because of the news last night. I wanted to put this out and make some clarifications on what was said last night and some questions about what was said last night. And what does this have to do with? Well, it has to do with opening Bali on the 14th. And we'll get to that in just a second. Let's take a look at the numbers first, because the numbers are good. And so 7-day average for new positive cases, 82. And the 7-day average for deaths, 6. So numbers still below 100. And what about new positive cases in Indonesia? Below 1,000, 922. And deaths below 188. So more good news on the numbers. Total individuals tested in Indonesia, 146,708, 0.63% positive, and the 7-day average positivity rate is 0.87. More good news. What about testing in Bali? 45,353 people were tested over the last 7 days, and the achievement rate was 163.78%, and 7-day positivity rate 1.30%. Wow. And what about vaccinations in Bali? First dose, 3,342,695, 74.8%. Second dose, 2,709,647, 60.7% of the population. And 20,209 additional doses were administered yesterday. And what about the numbers for Bali? 52 new cases. And recoveries 95, deaths 7, and active cases in Bali 1,208. Why is this important? Because these numbers need to come down so we can get down to level 2. And where are we? We're on level 3. So last night it was announced that restrictions extended 2 more weeks and Bali remains at level 3. Is that going to change anything? No. Everything is pretty much the same. Pak Luhut said yesterday when he was announcing restrictions were going to be ended for 2 more weeks that people should not, this is another one, people should not experience euphoria and should remain disciplined. Okay, and so, yeah, because next what I'm going to talk about is this opening of Bali for international flights, and that's bringing about some euphoria, and it's right now a little misplaced or a little premature, let's say. So what about the opening of Bali? Well, this has been reported everywhere, and they're all using basically the same news feed. So Ngurah Airport is going to be open for foreign tourists beginning October 14th. This is according to the Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment, Pak Luhut. And international flights will be open as long as they meet applicable terms and conditions. These include quarantine testing and the readiness of the task force. And this is only for 6 countries. Okay, forget those 4 that were talked about before, Russia, the US, Germany, and the UK. No. What are the 6 countries? The 6 countries, South Korea, China, Japan, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and New Zealand. So their international flights will be allowed from these 6 countries. Now, there's been a change. The other day, I said that there was a limit on passengers, 90 persons per plane. That's been ditched. Okay, so as I've said many times, things change constantly. Everything is in flux. What they say one day is not necessarily what's going to happen the next day. So now there's no 90-person limit. So if you were planning on flying in on a B211 and you were worried about 90 people in a plane, forget it. Okay, they can have as many people as they fit. International flights will be allowed to come in from those 6 countries starting on October 14th. Now, a number of questions that haven't been answered yet, and this is very common, right? If you've watched this channel before, you've heard this. There's an announcement, not an official circular out yet, and the announcement is kind of vague, and so there's a lot of questions here. And what are the questions? Okay, 1, visa types. So, what kind of visas? Let's just take one country, for example, Korea, South Korea. Okay, what kind of visas? Are they going to be a visa on arrival? Do they have to apply for a visa beforehand? How long is it going to be good for? Is it going to be good for 2 weeks, a month, 30 days and extendable. That hasn't been announced yet. I will put any updates that are substantial, tack them onto this video and upload it again as a separate video. So if you want to know what's happening here until Sunday, you should subscribe and click the notifications bell. Okay. So question about the visa type, right? Okay, that's one. How long? Now, there's a quarantine, right? So if you're gonna come in from these 6 countries, so South Korea, we're gonna stick with South Korea. You're gonna come in from South Korea, you're gonna have to be quarantined for 8 days, and there's a list of hotels that may be changed. I'll have a link down below to a description of the process that's going to happen as you come into Bali International, and it also has the hotels listed there, no prices. The question is what type of visa and how long? And what about B211? So let's say that you're a B211, you've got a B211 visa, you live in Los Angeles, and you don't want to fly into Jakarta, you want to fly into Bali for your quarantine. You fly from LA to Seoul, and then because planes are going to be allowed in from South Korea, and then you hop on a plane from Seoul to Bali. Is that going to work? Are they going to allow B211s to come in on this, or is this going to be just special and our B211s going to have to go in through Jakarta like they have been? That's not clear. At this point, if you're a citizen, it seems, and this is where I said this is vague, it seems if you're a citizen, you can come in. So citizen from Japan, citizen from South Korea. I would imagine if you have a KITAS or a KITAP, or of course if you're an Indonesian citizen, you would also be able to fly in directly on those flights. So let's say you have a KITAP, you're living in Los Angeles, you fly from Los Angeles to Seoul. Guess that you could do that. And I'm saying guess. Please pay attention to that word guess. I would call the Indonesian embassy closest to you and ask them directly, and as well call the airline that you're flying in on and ask them, because you don't want to show up at the airport and have the airline tell you, no, sorry, you can't do it. This is all unclear. So if this is made clear before my regular Sunday update, I will update this. And nothing was mentioned about insurance or being fully vaxxed. Now, those have been requirements. Again, I'm guessing they're going to be in place. You're going to have to be fully vaxxed, and you're going to have insurance. And you're going to have to, and this was addressed specifically in Pak Luhut's comments, you are going to have a quarantine hotel booked and proof of that when you come in, and you're going to need to be tested. I'm assuming they're going to test you at the airport. And this is all assumptions. Assuming things in Indonesia, you can go wrong a lot of times. But a lot of people are jumping already and going, okay, I'm going to get on a flight. I wouldn't book anything yet until an official circular comes out from the government laying out exactly how this is going to work. Quick wrap up. This is very short. A quick wrap up. What have we got? The restrictions have been extended for another 2 weeks. Okay, our numbers are looking real good, but we're still at level 3 for 2 weeks, right? And Ngurah Airport is going to be open for international flights from 6 countries starting on October 14th. Maybe they'll add some more before then. Who knows? Nobody knows at this point. Anybody that says they know, if they're not a minister or a governor, not a government official, they don't know. Take a look at these countries. Are people from China going to come here with an 8-day quarantine? Well, I think it would be highly unlikely. A lot of Chinese tourists come here in tour packages. You see them in the huge buses, especially in Ubud, where they drive people crazy. Japanese, I don't know. I know we have a lot of Japanese here, and a lot of Japanese had left the country, and I talked about that a month ago. And are they going to come in with this 8-day quarantine? So the 8-day quarantine is going to be a problem if you're coming for a short-term visit. So for example, you've got a week, forget it. Okay, nobody's going to come here with a week vacation. You got 2 weeks. Okay, so you've got a 2-week vacation, you're going to be 8-day quarantine in a hotel, and then you've got 6 days to do something. I'm not seeing short-term people coming in as long as we've got this 8-day quarantine. I'm looking at people wanting to come in here for a longer time period. Are we going to get a lot of people out of this? Right now, I would guess not. Is this going to change? Pak Luhut said gradually, we're doing this gradually, opening up gradually. Doesn't want to make a mistake doesn't want to have a spike in numbers with us getting so low, 52 cases today. So I would wait a little and see something more concrete, official from the government, not just Pak Luhut's talk on YouTube channel last night. Good news, remaining optimistic, things are looking up, but let's not jump the gun yet. Thanks for viewing, stay safe, kind to someone today, and let's keep positive about all this. See you next time.